You're looking at a 5 carat natural pink diamond, one of the rarest stones on the planet, born over 1 billion years ago. And we've just made the mount and set the stone right here in-house. Now in this video, I'm going to take you through the science of what makes those stones pink, the remote Australian mine that produced almost all of them, and a diamond heist that nobody saw coming. And the whole time, you're going to watch us build the ring from scratch. I'm James at Blackwell Jewellers. If you ever wanted to own something truly irreplaceable, or you just got a piece that deserves a second life, hit that subscribe, stay with me, this one's worth it. Most people have never seen a real pink diamond in their life, and the first time you do, you actually stop, because it doesn't look like it should exist. Now, I've been in the trade for 35 years, I've handled thousands of diamonds, white ones, yellow ones, brown ones, but pink, a real natural pink diamond, it's a completely different league. It's still a diamond, same carbon, same hardness, same structure, but something happened to this stone deep inside the earth billions of years ago, and it came out pink. It's not dyed, it's not treated, just nature doing something it almost never does. And the one sitting on the bench right now, it weighs 5 carats, which in the world of natural pink diamonds is almost unheard of. So before I show you how we build this ring, I want you to understand exactly what you're looking at, because once you know the story behind this stone, you're going to look at it very differently. So if it's not dye, not a treatment, and not a trick of light, what actually makes a diamond turn pink? Right, so here's where it gets really interesting. If I asked you why yellow diamond is yellow, there's a simple answer: nitrogen. A tiny trace of it gets trapped inside the crystals it forms, and it turns the diamond yellow. Easy, logical, and it makes sense. But a pink diamond, nobody could find the impurity. No extra element, no obvious contamination. For years, the world's best experts were stumped, and then they worked it out. It wasn't something that got in the diamond, it was something that happened to it. Now imagine the most unimaginable pressure you've ever seen. Now multiply that by 1,000,000. That's what happens deep inside the earth. And some diamonds, as they're being pushed up towards the surface, get caught in those forces. The pressure is so intense, it actually bends the crystal structure of the diamond itself. And that tiny distortion, that microscopic twist in the carbon, that changes how light moves through the stone. So instead of it coming out white, it comes out pink. You're not looking at a colour, you're looking at ancient damage, billions of years of pressure turned into something breathtaking. So if pressure is what creates them, and they only form in very specific conditions deep in the earth, how many places on the planet have actually managed to produce them? Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you're thinking about having anything made bespoke or any jewellery repairs, below there's a link. You can get in touch with me personally or one of my teams. Right, let's get back to the video. Now people throw the word rare around a lot in the jewellery world. Every jeweller says their stones are rare. So let me give you some actual numbers, because with pink diamonds the rarity is on a completely different level. At the Argyle mine in Australia, which we're going to talk about properly in a minute, they dug up 865 million carats of rough diamonds over 35 years. 865 million carats. This is an almost impossible number to picture. Of all of that, the pink and the red diamonds combined were less than 1%. Less than 1% of 865 million carats. And those pinks, the ones about half a carat, they're the ones that actually matter for jewellery like this. People close to the mine have said that an entire year's worth of them would fit inside a single champagne flute. 1 year, 1 flute. That's the entire global supply of fine Argyle pink diamonds. In a good year, now look at the stone on that bench. 5 carats, natural, untreated. That isn't just rare, this is a kind of rare that almost jewellers will never hold in their lifetime. So if almost every fine pink diamond in the world came from one single place, where exactly is that place, and why has nobody been able to find another one like it? I want you to picture somewhere so remote that when the workers clocked off at the end of the day, there was nowhere to go. No town, no pub, no corner shop, just red earth, heat and silence. That's the East Kimberley region of Western Australia. It's hundreds of miles from the nearest city, a landscape that looks like the beginning of time. And right in the middle of it, sitting on the shores of Lake Argyle, was the most important diamond mine in modern history, the Argyle mine. This is where almost every fine pink diamond you've ever seen come from. This is where the stone sitting on my bench was born. And the fact that it's in the middle of nowhere, that's actually part of the reason it took so long to find, because the diamonds weren't discovered with expensive equipment of years of research. They were found in one of the most unexpected ways imaginable. So how exactly do you stumble across one of the world's greatest diamond deposits in one of the most isolated places on the planet?
Most people do like one a week, don't they?
In 1979, a team is out in the Kimberley doing a survey. They're sitting on top of an anthill in the middle of the outback. Something is catching the light. It was a pink diamond just sitting there on an anthill in the dirt. And that tiny glinting stone turned out to be sitting on top of one of the most significant diamond discoveries in history. Before the Argyle, pink diamonds were what you'd call occasional finds. India, Brazil, Africa, Indonesia, a stone here, a stone there, decades apart. There was no reliable supply, no consistency, no market. If you wanted a pink diamond before 1979, you basically had to wait and hope. Argyle changed all of that. For the first time in history, there was a source, not a flood. Remember, we're still talking about less than 1% of everything ever mined, but enough to create a real recognised market for natural pink diamonds, enough to make collectors, investors and couples around the world take notice. So with all that wealth, all that rarity, all of that value coming out of one place, what kind of security does a mine like Argyle actually need? After almost 40 years of production, in 2020 the Argyle mine closed. No big ceremony, no global news story, just quietly the gate shut. The diamond seams had simply run too thin. The cost of going deeper into the rock was more than what was coming out. So Rio Tinto, the mining company that ran Argyle, made the decision. And just like that, the world's greatest source of pink diamonds was gone. Now here's what that actually means. Every pink diamond that exists in the world right now is all there will ever be. No new supply is coming, ever. No other mine has stepped in to replace what Argyle gave us. So the stone on my bench isn't just rare in the way it was rare in 1990 or 2005. It's rare in a completely different, permanent, irreversible way now. Every year that passes, more of these stones disappear into private collections, vaults, museums, and the ones left in circulation become more and more extraordinary. But before the mine closed, before any of this became history, something was already going wrong behind the scenes, and it had been going on for years. Now, the Argyle was one of the most secure diamond operations on the planet. Remote locations, controlled access, tight procedures. On paper, it was almost impossible to steal from. And yet, in the late 1980s, someone had found a way. Not with bolt cutters and balaclavas, not with a team of armed men and a getaway van. Something quieter, something slower, something that took years to even notice. The first clue didn't come from inside the mine at all. It came from a phone call, thousands of miles away, in Antwerp, Belgium, one of the world's greatest diamond trading centres. Rough pink diamonds from Argyle were showing up on the open market, which should have been impossible, because Argyle's policy was clear. Valuable pink diamonds were polished in controlled cutting rooms in Perth before they ever moved anywhere. Rough pinks on the open market meant only one thing: someone was getting them out before that process even happened. So who was behind it, and how exactly were they getting millions of pounds worth of pink diamonds past one of the most secure operations in the world? The man who started joining the dots was Richard Caulfield, Argyle's head of security, former Scotland Yard officer, not the kind of man you'd want looking over your shoulder. Around the same time as the Antwerp tip-off, Caulfield heard about something closer to home. In Perth, right on his doorstep, unpolished pink diamonds had turned up at a local cutting workshop, bought in by a horse trainer named Lindsay Rodden. A horse trainer with a parcel of rough Argyle pink diamonds. The stones were still dirty, unwashed, which meant they had gone through the mine's own processing system. They'd come straight out, raw, untracked. Now Caulfield quietly pulled a sample. He sent it for testing, and the results confirmed exactly what he feared, that they were Argyle stones. What followed was a long, patient investigation spanning years, crossing continents. Authorities came to believe that up to $50 million worth of pink diamonds had been smuggled out through networks stretching from Western Australia to Hong Kong, New York and Switzerland. Most were never recovered. And when you realise that the stolen stones quietly disappeared into the global diamond trade, possibly sitting in rings and collections right now, completely untraceable, doesn't that make the fully documented, legally traceable stones feel even more precious? So we've talked about the science, we've talked about the mine, the closure, the heist, and there's still one question I get asked all the time. Why do people fall so hard for pink diamonds? Now part of it is the colour. Pink is romantic, it's warm, it's personal, whereas white diamonds feels classic and timeless. A pink diamond feels like it was chosen specifically for you, like someone didn't just buy a diamond. They searched for something that said something, but I think the deeper reason is the story. When you hear a natural pink diamond, you're wearing something that formed over 1 billion years ago, that survived those unimaginable pressures, that came out of the ground in one tiny corner of Australia, that travelled through one of the most extraordinary chapters in mining history. And that, because of all of that, almost doesn't exist. It's not just jewellery, it's a piece of the Earth's history on your finger. And for the right person, someone who values rarity, meaning and something irreplaceable, there is nothing quite like it. So when we sit down to actually design and build a ring around a stone like this, what does that process actually look like? and what decisions does a stone this rare force you to make at the bench. Now, we've made thousands of pieces here at Blackwell Jewellers, engagement rings, wedding bands, restoration work, bespoke commissions. Every single one matters to us. Now, before I go, I want to be completely honest with you, because that's what we do at Blackwell Jewellers. This pink diamond is actually lab grown, and I think you deserve to know that and to understand why that actually matters, because if this stone was natural, a real natural 5 carat pink diamond, we wouldn't be making a ring, we'd be calling Sotheby's. A 5 carat natural fancy vivid pink sold at auction in 2025 for over $10 million. At even the lower end, a 5 carat fancy pink, you're looking well over £500,000. This is not a stone that sits in a workshop in Kent. This is a stone that sits in a vault. And that's exactly what lab grown has done to this industry. It's disrupted everything. For the first time ever, stones that were previously locked in the hands of billionaires and auction houses, you can now wear them. You can have the look, the weight, the brilliance, the sheer presence of a 5 carat pink diamond on your finger. And we wanted to show you that, because the jewellery industry has always had a dark side. Scarcity used as weapon, value guarded by a few, ordinary people priced out of something extraordinary. Lab grown has cracked that open, and I think that's worth talking about honestly. So we hope you enjoyed watching this ring come to life. We hope the story of the Argyle mine and billions of years of science, and yes, even the heist, made this little more than just a making video. Whether you're thinking about something bespoke, a piece that needs a new life, or you're simply curious about what's possible, the link below will get you straight to us. No pressure, no hard sell, just a proper conversation with someone who genuinely loves what they do. I'm James of Blackwell Jewellers, and I'll see you in the next one.